Sometimes in life, a detour can be a distraction, a time waster. In Tasmania, a detour is an adventure. I'm Sandra Brady. I'm the Trade and Events Coordinator for Tourism Tasmania, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you the place that I love. Thank you so much, and good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our training session on Tasmania today. I hope you're having a good morning so far and you've had a good week, and I think some of you may have also seen some of the live tasting. I'll get that right. I may have had a whiskey or two myself by now. Some live whiskey tasting with Lark Distillery earlier in the week as well. So I'm happy to share with you a bit of Tassie today in the time that we've got, and happy to hear from any of you at any time. So please reach out if there's anything you need. But let's get started. Access to Tassie. Sometimes people forget that we're at the bottom of Australia. We're often left off the map, but I'm here to tell you that we're absolutely open for business, and access is better now than ever before. COVID changed things a little for us because we're in a bit of a bubble, and so we had a lot of destinations within Australia opened up to us that weren't here previously. So we now have non-stop flights from the major capital cities as well as some of the others, so Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, Canberra, Sydney, Gold Coast, Brisbane. We also have a new international connection for those that may be coming that way as well, with non-stop flights from Auckland into Hobart. So it's never been easier to reach us here in Tassie. So let's have a look at some more. Why come to Tasmania? I think really it's that space to breathe. Wellness is a big thing. Ecotourism is certainly a big thing. Sustainable tourism, regenerative tourism. They're all the buzzwords that we're hearing. But in Tasmania, we've been living and breathing that for a long time, quite naturally. So it is an opportunity to reconnect with oneself, with family, with friends, with the things that matter. 40% of Tasmania is protected as UNESCO World Heritage Area and National Parks. So we have some of the purest air in the world. We do have an air testing station in the north at a place called Cape Grim, and scientifically proven to be the freshest air in the world. So that's pretty impressive. We are a compact island, roughly the size of Ireland, and it doesn't mean, though, that 2 or 3 days does it for you. We really encourage tourists to be here for about 14 days if they want to visit the entire island. Anything less than that, you're looking at more of a hub and spoke approach. So if you're in Hobart only, then we'd look at 3 to 4 nights so that you've got time to visit not just Hobart but also the surrounds. You can be in the wilderness just 20 minutes drive from Hobart. Kununyi, Mount Wellington behind us is only a 20-minute drive, and you've got a mix from rainforest through to alpine forest without having to travel too far at all. For those able to go further afield, then you'll find the Three Capes track, for example, that the Tas Walking Co offer, as well as others. You've got Southern Lights. A lot of people travel to your end of the world for the Northern Lights. Well, we have the Southern Lights in Tassie, and at the moment it's putting on a spectacular show because it's right in the peak cycle for aurora viewing. Nature and wildlife certainly abounds. And by all means, throw some questions in if you've got any for me, and I'll try and answer them on the fly for you as well. But in terms of walking, everything from 60 great short walks in our national parks, you might want to remember that number 60, just a hint there, to multi-day walks as well. So Cradle Mountain, of course, most people have heard of, and it's one of the icons of Tasmania. But other walks include the Three Capes Track, Freycinet. Maria Island has some great walks down in the southwest. So there's a number of multi-day hikes that can be done either as pack-free or, more kind of hiking, camping as well. In terms of the trails, 60 great short walks as well, as I mentioned before. We've got the top picture there, which is actually a view of Konani Mount Wellington and the lookout looking down to the city. And Greg's just asking, do we think Tasmania will be part of Come and Say G'day? I have to watch this space, Greg. I certainly hope so, but it's not all locked in yet, so we'll see. The best time to see the Southern Lights, Alice? Actually, it's normally winter, but we're just in a cycle of 7 years, and I've been seeing it with the naked eye driving home. It's been incredible. In terms of the Southern Lights, there are tours with Premier Travel Tasmania, who are also part of the Australian Wildlife Journeys. They actually do Aurora tours, and Tasmanian Walking Co. will offer nighttime photography. So whilst they don't call it Aurora, it's night sky photography, and if it's at the right time, you'll capture some Aurora as well. Just as a tip, Aurora Australis Tasmania is the Facebook page if you want to see some fabulous photos. Many trails for walking in our 3.7 million acres of wilderness, of course, and we have access-friendly wilderness. So our national parks, you can actually hire wheelchairs that are off-road wheelchairs, free of charge, particularly for Cradle Mountain and Mountfield National Park. The ferry from Melbourne actually takes either a full day or an overnight. So you've got the option there, and it now leaves from Geelong in Victoria and lands in Devonport in the north of Tassie, or doesn't quite land, I hope not. Sails into Devonport. Oh, thanks for sharing that address there, Sarah, as well. So visited the island. We have some amazing creatures here. I had a group of New Zealand agents on a famil, and we saw a platypus. They were so excited because it's not always easy to see them, but we saw one on our trip to Mountfield as part of the famil. So that was absolutely a highlight. You've also got the wombat, which is a slightly different species to mainland wombat. There's the spotted quoll up in the corner there, and of course the Tasmanian devil. So you can get absolutely viewing of these in the wild as people are travelling around, but we'd normally recommend that you might want to visit something like Bonnerong Wildlife Park or Devils at Cradle, Trawana Wildlife Park, those sorts of wildlife sanctuaries for guaranteed wildlife viewing. In terms of road trips, incredible. It's not overwhelming to drive in Tassie, and seriously, every 30 minutes you've got a different sort of topography to look at. There's lots of short walks. As I mentioned before, there are 60 short walks in our national parks and reserves, so there's plenty of them to just stop, pull over, go for even a 10 or 15 minute walk to get some air, and then back in the car and on it again as well. So you can see we've got lavender here. It's the largest field outside of France, I believe, with Bridestow lavender in the north. We also have Port Arthur Lavender Farm now as well in the south. Rainforests, you've got saunas, hot saunas jumping into icy cold water, the Blue Lake, so there's all sorts of things that you can just quickly pop in and visit along the way on your drive journey as well. All of our major car rental companies cater for self-drive, of course, and camper vans are very popular here as well. Some companies will allow you to actually do one-way drop-off, so you could land in Hobart and return the car to Lonnie, for example. Food and drink, incredible. You can actually, the tasting trails around Tasmania are just amazing. And even the New Zealand agents, and some of you will know that New Zealand has pretty good quality stuff too, but they were just blown away by our wine, our cider, our beer, the seafood, the oysters. So that probably gives you a bit of an idea of what having a famil in Tassie is like. It's a lot of fun and a lot of great food. But your clients, your visitors here will be able to meet the makers at cellar doors. Tassie people like to have a bit of a yarn, so we're very friendly, very open to sharing our experiences, to suggesting the next place on your road trip that you might want to go. So it's truly an incredible place for that. We do have some cruising here as well. This is a brand new product, which is why I'm highlighting them today. And the cruising with on board is new. They've only just started this year. And truly luxury cruising down into the southwest wilderness into Port Davey. The only other way to get there is to fly in on small planes with Par Avion or Above and Beyond, or to walk in. So this could be a good option for those clients that are after a luxe but wilderness experience. In terms of car hire, John, thanks for asking the question. I meant one-way drop-off without a fee. That's correct. There is maybe one or two companies that may charge a small fee, like $100, but others don't charge any fee. The other thing I just mentioned about car hire is just checking if your clients are wanting to go to Bruny Island, making sure that the car rental you book for them allows travel under Bruny, because there's a short car ferry ride over, and not all car companies will allow that. But certainly Drive Car Hire do, I believe Budget, I believe Bargain Car Rentals, and others. In terms of other cruising, you've got half day and full day and multi-day cruise options as well. Really spectacular coastal scenery. Tassie is an island, but most mainlanders don't really think of us as beach worthy because our water temperatures are cooler, but our beaches are stunning. So don't let that put you off coming on a beach walk and having a dip in the ocean. Truly beautiful. So cruising, you've got Gordon River Cruises and World Heritage Cruises, taking the famous World Heritage Gordon River Cruise, visiting Convict Island, Sarah Island as well on the way. We've got Wineglass Bay Cruises on the east coast. There's the Port Arthur Cruise, Bruny Island Cruises. Pennycock Cruises offer a range of cruises, as well as seafood seduction and gourmet eating whilst you're out and about. Truly incredible. I just thought I'd put together a lot of the things that you will have learnt this week with the Great Walks of Australia, wildlife journeys, cultural attractions, luxury lodges, so etc. These are all part of that grouping. So you've got Maria Island Walk, almost guaranteed wombat sightings. So I don't want to see guaranteed, but it'd be unusual not to see a wombat if you're walking on Maria Island. The Freycinet Experience Walk, Tasmanian Walking Co, Cradle Mountain Walk, the Three Capes, Bay of Fires, all of those part of the Great Walks of Australia. Walkalina Walk is our cultural Indigenous experience as well, and really one worth doing for those that want both the local Palawa guided walks and learning more about our Indigenous areas of Tasmania. Fly fishing is incredible here, and I've just had the most amazing meeting with Inland Fisheries telling me all about the brown trout. Just one, and that's pretty much it, yeah? That we're yeah. Yeah, so the ferry from Melbourne is actually overnight or daytime crossing, so it is a full day. So I can't remember if it's 8 to 10 hours, but it's close to that. So yeah. All right. So thank you, everyone, and thanks for your time. As you can see, having 10 minutes, it's a bit hard to squeeze it all in, but here we go. If you want to get in touch, please do so, and I'll be able to answer your questions, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you so much.